Good morning, everyone. So I can say most I would like to say, but just so that let me just say this so we, we know what it actually entails of us. So I've been talking about practice. What I teach you here may not be enough to actually take you to where you're supposed to. So if you don't practice, if you don't like build stuff, if you don't try out things, you're not going to get better. So as much as possible, try and engage yourself, try and do things, try and build things. I like what I see people doing. I like when they post their jobs. So people just even go the extra mile, and it's actually interesting. Like I like it when people actually do that type of stuff, because if you don't do that, you don't take charge of your growth. You don't stand for yourself, you're not going to go far. So as much as possible, try and work on stuff and build things. So if that feels with page, you can just continue, you can move on to the next page. If you don't have stuff that you're doing, if you're not so engaged and all of that, you can move on to the next page, work on it. If you have issues, you bring it up, Slack, then we talk about it. So that's just a way of building yourself. So, but what we have today, but I don't know, does anybody have any question with regards to what we've learned so far, so that just talk about it before we move over to, okay. So, wow, wow. Were you guys waiting for me? Okay, so yeah, greatest demo.
Can I speak?
Yeah, you can.
All right, I have a question. Personally, I don't have any issues with the coding. The problem I'm having right now, why I've not submitted my task, is the GitHub stuff. I've been seeing so many videos on YouTube that are trying to explain how to get your GitHub installation and all. Some are using Git Bash, and I really don't understand. This GitHub I downloaded, so I'm kind of confused. That's where I am right now. I should have uploaded my assignment already. I did my assignment perfectly, but the issue is this GitHub of a thing. So please, is there a particular system we should follow? Are we using Git Bash, or what are we using? That's what I'd like to know.
Okay. So with regards to that, the day I was teaching about GitHub, I said that Git Bash is actually it's a terminal. You can use any terminal actually. That's any command line terminal. You can use anyone. The one in your VS Code, you can actually use it. You can use your CMD, or if you're using Windows. If you're using Linux, you can also use the command line there. So anyone works actually. But you just need to know, you just need to be sure that probably you're inside the folder where you want to do that, where you want to do all the Git init and all of that. You need to be inside that folder. So I think most times it's more practical than when you're talking about it. So I think it's something you probably need to see what you've done, and then we kind of walk you through so that you can actually do that. But let me confirm. You said you installed Git.
Yes, I have installed Git on my system. So it was asking me, do I want to create a new repo? And I'm like, okay, how am I going to create a repo? Because I remember when we first did Git on the first class, that was class 10, you already had it installed on your system. So things were looking different. So and I've reached out to a couple of people to explain how they did their own, so I don't make mistake, because this kind of things, once you've already created something, I don't know if it's possible to delete and start again. So, but I've been getting conflicting answers from different people. So I just left it like that. I don't want to make a mistake that I cannot remove later. So I just left it for now. So I want to ask, what do you suggest?
Yeah, so I dropped a link to the slides on the resources channel. I don't know if that could help. I kind of gave step by step this thing of how you can do that. And then even in the class, I try to follow that process, that pattern. So you
Okay,
might have you, yeah.
I've never seen the slide yet, but I'm gonna check for it.
All right. So if you check it and then you still don't get it, then we can just talk about it.
Okay, I'll send you a DM after if I still don't get it. Thank you very much.
No, all right. So Merit.
Hey, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Okay, my question is, where you used order when you were trying to make the website mobile responsive last week?
Yes.
Is if we use a flex direction of column reverse, is it still going to give us that same effect?
Yes, that works for when you have maybe like here we had 2 items. This screen now, you have 2 items. So a column reverse actually works. But what if we had 3 items and then you wanted the one in the middle to be the first one? You think column reverse work?
Okay, I know it's going to reverse, but since it's 2 items, so I'm wondering if column reverse will still give us the same effect like order. Because
that's what I'm saying. If it's 2 items, if it's just 2, like what we have on the screen now, this text and then this image. When you do a column reverse, yes, we know the image goes here and then this one comes this other direction. But what if we had 3 items? So 1, 2, and then a third one. And then you wanted the image here now to be the first item. Will column reverse work?
no, we'll have to use order that way.
That answers you, and that's like a practical.
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, so now the questions we have. All right. So let's go into the matter of the day. Last week, we started working on responsiveness. This was our screen. This is the screen size we were looking at. So we've done up to this point. Hello,
excuse me, I have a question. Hello?
Yes.
So my question is about GitHub. When you make changes to work that you've already pushed to your repo, when you try to push it again, it gives an error. How do you fix that?
There are different types of errors. There are different types of errors. So when you say an error makes it like a general statement. So it could be one of 2 things. It could be what you have, well, same 2 things. It could be one of many things. One could be what you, yes.
I think what I have on my local repo is different from what I have. I have changed something in the code I've initially sent to the remote repository.
Okay.
So it's like there are 2 conflicting
yeah, sometimes what you need to do is either you do git pull to get what you have up there, either git pull or git fetch. So when you pull and then it sees that what you have on your local repository is different from what you have on your remote, you get a conflict, and that's when you have to now resolve the conflict.
Okay.
So, yeah. So it's something that we need to look at the error message that you're getting, and then from there we start tackling it.
Okay.
And do
Maybe I'll
that
try.
after now. Yeah.
Okay, I'll try it again and then take note of the error message.
Right.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, welcome. All right, I believe you can see my screen. So last time we stopped at this point where we had to work on this section. If you can still remember how we achieved this. So we're moving over to this other section. This section here, fortunately, unfortunately, is just the last thing here. So I don't have the footer, I don't have the other sections. But let's just continue this. All right. So the way we normally do it, you kind of need to inspect. You need to inspect, you need to know what you would like to do here. So you need to know the best approach, how you make this fit on this screen. So first thing I would like to do is, as I've inspected, I selected this. I think we know how to use this developer to actually come in handy over time. So select this, then I have this. So we have this tools section. So this tools section, notice that it has a display of links. I actually gave it a height here. But I now see that if I do, so let's just practicalize it. So I need to pull VS Code for to increase this. Okay. So let me close all of this. So this is tool section. Tool section has an ID. Yeah, so it's an ID, and inside the style, so this is line 280. So if I go to line 280, my this is 280. So I have a height of 500 pixels and then a display of flex. So remember that we're using, this is our breakpoint. And the reason that this is our breakpoint is because, so I'll just be touching some of these things so that we kind of remember what we need. So this is 425. 425. And I said that if you use a maximum width of 425, your change will actually not start from 425. You need to go lower before you can see the effects of what you've done and see any change that you've made. Now, that is actually not the effects that we want. So we needed it because if you check now, this is mobile, this is still mobile, this is still mobile. So different screen sizes for your mobile device. So that's why we started from 4 to 5. So most Android phones, like I said, this is actually the screen size. So for most Android phones, this is the screen size. So I don't know how many of us have actually tried it. So what you hosted on GitHub, you could actually send it to your phone and then see what it's like. So if you worked on the mobile responsiveness, you could actually just send the hosted link to your phone. Maybe you could send it to someone's WhatsApp or something, and then you see how your responsiveness looks. So For some people, it can be so terrible and horrible. So, can actually work on it and make it better. So, let's explain. Wait, so here now, so I was just trying to explain the 425. So the reason we are not using 425 because if you check here, so you might actually be tempted to use 425. Yeah, but like I said, if you start from 425, that means on this screen size there will be no change. You have to come to probably 375 and then 320, and then that's when you start noticing the changes. So here now, this is 425, so we decided to use 426. And then this is for our mobile view, like you see here. So I am going to get the style. I'm just going to continue from this photo, this section here. So let me just get this. So this is two section. If I click on this, it's highlighted. I copy it. I come over here. So what I would want to do here is I want to change the flex direction. This is my page. I want to change this flex direction so that everything just stacks one on top of the other. Because if you look at this now, you see that everything is quite squished inside here. So I want to change how this looks. So I'm going to do a flex direction of column. All right. Save. I don't mind. Actually, save. So this is what we have. So each of them now, you see, we have this one. It has a width of 20%, which is not what we want. We kind of want it to maybe fill up this whole area, and then followed by this, and then followed by this section. So I'm going to change this width now from 20% to 100%. Copying this, putting it here. So I said a width of 100%. So this is what we have. Then this other section, that's the orange section, has a width of 40%, but we want it wider. So you need to get that point. And I've seen now that I'll just be repeating things. So I'm going to remove this. I don't want to repeat styles. I'll just copy this almost out. Sorry about that. So this suggestions stuff can be annoying sometimes. So I'm combining this two section because it's still doing the same thing. I don't want to repeat over and over again. So this one now, I also have to give it a width of percent. So this is auto section. So auto section also has a width of 100%. I believe you understand why I had to combine all of them. We understand why. Okay. So I don't want to repeat stuff. That's why. You need to be thinking. That's why people even have to come up with like with custom classes so that instead of repeating stuff, they just call classes and then it just does the magic for them. So this is what I have now. What I have. Anything I'm missing out here. So we've actually done. So this is all I have. This is where I stopped because I don't work on the and then those FAQ section. Yeah. So this is for the mobile screen. So the next thing that you want to look at is this tablet. There is the tablet view. So everything is back to how crazy it was before. So now we have to like style it so that it kind of fits. So I'm going to start from the top. So I'm thinking I want to hide this road assistance so that we have this and then we have this links here. So I want to hide this and then show just this. So everything that we are doing now is just because it's just proxy. It's just I don't even know which word I'm using. It's just it's from our imagination because we don't have a design for how the tablet or the mobile screen is supposed to look like. So we're just coming up with what we think it should be, what we feel it should be. That's why it's actually this way. But most times your designer should actually handle that aspect for you. So if you check I had already written something. This is let me just put a comment here, tablets. So if you check now, let's see. So we have 768. I increased my own by one so that it's now 7. Yeah, so we have 769 here now, so that's just so that from this 768 now we can actually start seeing the changes on it. So that's why I'm using 76. That's why I'm using 769. So let's start first. So I'm going to inspect. So I'm selecting this. When you hover on this, now, you notice that we have 2 sections here. So let me just highlight it. So we have a right section. So this is right section. In the right section, we have the navigation. And then we now have the road assistance. So this road assistance, I kind of want to hide it. So if I do a display of none here, I want. Okay, so this is what I have currently. What I have. So I think this is a better view. This is a better view. So I'm going to get this style now. Road assistance. And then I'm going to do that display of node now. display none. All right. So on this screen size, if I reload, you see that that has gone out. So it could be a choice to either leave this line or to remove it. So because it has a this navigation. Navigation has a border right of 2 pixels. So you could decide to remove that. You could decide to leave it. So this leave it for now. Now this section now. So what I would like, this is the hero section. So let me just inspect, select here. So two things I can do now. This container is looking like it's too far from the edges. So I could decide to maybe increase it from 80% to 90% so that my items can see some breathing space. I'm doing it inside here. I'm changing it from a width. Formerly, it was a width of 80%, but I'm changing it to 90% so that I have more breathing space, so that my items are not struggling for life. Okay, so this is what we have. This is what we have. So what I would like to do here is, okay, so I want to reduce this font size because this is very large. I want to reduce the font size here for this hero section. So this is text section H1. So let's see. I do a font size of 40 pixels. So let me do 35. Okay. So I could just do font size of 35. And yeah, this almost looks good. Okay. So I'm going to change the font size to my H1 now. So I'm going to paste this. There's no order actually. So I'm just going to paste this here. Font size 5. All right, so we have this now. So you also come here. You also need to size this so that it actually fits. Let me check. This is a display of Flex. We use the Flex class here, and then we use Flex SM column because this was for a small screen. So we said this Flex SM column is a custom class that we created, so that on a small screen, on a mobile screen, we can actually use this. There's something missing here. So there's you see, when I hover on this, you see that there is an extra space at the end there. So this is because we don't have a justify content space between. If I add this now, space between, so we have some breathing room here. So it's just that we didn't do this. We're using custom classes and we forgot to add that effect. So I think I had created a justify Okay, so I have this custom class that does that just justifies content space between. So instead of writing or adding it to maybe the flex SM column, I could just use this. I'm copying this. Then I go to my HTML section instance. Code section. So I go to code section. This is code section. Inside code section, I have flex SM. And I just add this justified between. All right. So when I come here now, I reload my page. I see that I don't need that. I don't need that extra, that style that I added here. I don't need it anymore. So what I would like to do here is to resize this so that it can fit. So 2 rows can actually grow because at least someone can see both of them. If you're using a tablet, you can actually see both of them very well. But if it's on a mobile, can't see both of them, but it will be squished. So here now, I want to reduce this font size because this is like the. So I clicked on this, and I'm believing that people understand or know how I'm doing this. So this is my H2, and this is what I want to style. So this is my code section, left section. So this is code section, left section. That's what we have here, and it's on line 120. So here now, I will just copy this. And I come to my style.css. Yeah. So depending now, I could just decide to attach it to this point and still use the 35 pixels. If that works. Like, I mean the size, not the effect. Wow, that is a wonderful suggestion. So this has reduced the size here, which is fair. Now this other one, this guy is suffering here, and then this content can be better. We have all this space just wasting away here. So we want to spread this, we want to spread the love here so that everybody has everything. So we have this flex here. Fine. We have this image box, which has a percentage, which has 5%. So I want to see what percentage will actually make it better. So I think this is fine, 15%. 15%. I think that size is fine. So I'm going to copy this. So when you actually select an element here, it shows you the style here. So you're able to just copy from here and then just go to your style, and then you can add it there. So I want a width of okay. For this one, this other one now, we have text box. Text box has a width of 50%, which yeah, I think this is better. So I could just increase this to 70% instead. So because I selected text box here, so the style has actually come out. And then I can copy it, come over here. Yeah. So, 70%. So I think this is fine. This is fine. So this other section now, yeah. So we want to also reduce the size of this. I believe we are following. Oh, this is actually, this can also be smaller. Can also be smaller. So this is my H3. I could also give it, yeah. I could also attach it to, this is my font size. So I'm using 35 pixels for headings. So this is my H3. So this file yeah, this works. I think this is fine. If I go over to this section now, so you see this is jumpy. That's one thing that we should note. The font size this can actually work for us. So we just need to share out the percentage properly. And then this is very large, this is very big. I don't know which of the myopia, but this is big. We'll manage that. So we need to reduce that. Oh, sorry. I think I should have added it. Since we are going with all headings, have a font size of 35 pixels. So this is what we have now. So I could actually leave my buttons that way, but then this is smaller. So we kind of want to work on the percentage here. Yes. Responsiveness is just about you working on the view. What are you seeing? So this is the image section. How do you make it look better? I want to increase this. Let's go to 15%, but it's still jumpy. So let's also check this other one. I think there's a margin. Yeah. So I can decide to remove this padding top rather. This works for me now. This is fine. The first thing I'm going to do is this image section. I'm going to increase it to 15%. So width of 15%. Sounds. Somebody had a horizontal scroll on the person's page, and then I told the person that, see, you're not supposed to have a horizontal scroll on your page. Like when you're creating a web page and then you notice that there's a scroll here, except there's maybe something like a large table that's you have maybe some data, maybe students data, so students information. Now you have a table that shows people's information, and then it's so long that on a small screen you now need to make it in such a way that, okay, there's overflow, or you want the users to be able to scroll. So that's when you can use that your horizontal scroll, that line that's usually at the bottom. Yeah, when there's an overflow, so you can actually use that. But when you're just building out a page, then everything is supposed to fit well, and then you're seeing the horizontal scroll, please, not that something is wrong somewhere. Something is wrong. So you need to check very well, and you need to fix that. So this is my H2. So I'm copying this. I'm removing this padding top. I'm going to give it the padding top of 0. This padding top here. So because you see, if I uncheck this, everything balances out properly. So this is padding of PT, padding of 0. So this is fine, this is fine. Oh, and then we now have this other aspect. So we now have this section. So, well, this, for some people, this can work. This can work. So, depending on you now, you could actually say, okay, I don't want 4, I want 3. I'm going to change mine to 3. Let's see. Remember we had offers section dot offers. So we said let's have a flex wrap here. Margin top of 40 pixels, margin bottom of 15 pixels. Yes. That's fine. That's fine. But this upper box, now remember we said it has a height of 232 pixels, and then it has a width of 24%. 24%, it would have been 25 if we did not want the space in between. So everything would just have been touching themselves. But we didn't want it that way. We wanted spaces in between each of them. That's why we used 24%. So I am thinking now, so if I want to make this to be 3 items here, what do I do? 83%. I should. I wanted to say something, but I'll give you a remote launch. Is it possible? So here, this is offers section. This is my offers box. So copy my offers box. Let's see how 33% works. I'm coming to this below this. So I am going to do a width 3%. Okay. This is our 33%. It's almost touching each other. So do I do 32%? Let's see what it looks like. This is better. So I needed space in between here and here. So it's just you calculating to know what you want. And for this section, well, I think this is still fair. This is still fair. So that we still need to style out this very well. So I don't know. It is the basic stuff. This is the basic thing that kind of need to do here. So does anybody have any question so far? Do you understand what I was doing? If you understand everything I did, okay. Yeah. Someone said yes, kind of. Oh, nobody noticed this. So we have one extra space here. And that is because of space. We have this space here. Because when you share 32%, you now have an extra space at the end here. This space is for Mubarak. Okay, that's fine. Mubarak, you can come and you can jump inside here. All right. All right. So what I would like to do is okay, so let me just open up Figma. You guys are fun. Okay, so what I intend doing now is I just want to, since we have some time, this opens up, I'll just continue with the, since nobody has a question, so I'll just continue with where I stopped. Okay, wow, I can see Mary. Mary is doing some strong things. Thank you. Okay. It's interesting how you can actually see people doing stuff. Just wow, we have a whole lot of fish. I'm lost. Okay, so here now, let's just continue. We're supposed to, this is where we stopped the last time. I know most of us, we've passed this place now, so it's Child's Play. So let's just see how we can achieve some of this. I don't know if people are actually still struggling with all of this. All right, all right. Thank you so much. I believe we've actually passed this section. So let me just share it. Which section? This other section. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, okay, okay. So I know most of us have actually started working on this section, which I'm actually impressed. I like it when I like how you guys are actually taking the initiative and all of that. It's actually very nice. So I just want to just build out this section, I believe, and I hope. Let's just continue with this. We have some time here. Let's just see what we can do. Guys, should I pick specific section and just go with that? Maybe you don't need to create a new. Just if you're working on services, just create a services.html, and then you now also do maybe a services.css. But like you see here now, this header and this header are the same. So you have this style in your style.css. So you might want to still link your style.css to this one. Continue working on it, and then maybe attach. You could still use, okay, you could still use the, what do they call it? The style.css for both of them, and then attach your services.css to work on this aspect. So I think that is a better route. I don't know if we understood yet. All right, so interesting conversation. Someone says we should pick the FAQ section. So let's just work on this. All right. So I'm opening my. So that was what I mean. So that's let me. I've forgotten your name and I can't even see it on the chat again. All right, so let's just go on. So inside here now, this is our index.html. I'm closing this closing the two section. Yes, here now. So section, and then I have an idea of FAQ. Just add a section there. So while we're at this, so I would still say it's good, it's very important that you have a strong foundation of HTML and CSS, because let me just say going forward, when you start working, on the, I don't know where this is. All right. When you start working on when we go into frameworks, CSS frameworks, Bootstrap, or any other thing, you might not do a whole lot of CSS. So if your CSS foundation is shaky, there is fire on the mountain. You might have some problems. So it's taking notes of those things. Okay, so if I have any interesting things. Okay, so first things first, I'm going to add my, which I could actually split the screen and just work on that. I'm going to add my container first, even though that container is not really going to do anything. People should go and meet coded let me tell you. So I'm going to do container. I can do that, but I don't know if it will work somehow. And I don't want people struggling to see this. So that's why I'm using a full view. So let's just work on this like this. So okay, so many requests. Let's finish one before we go over to the next one. Thank you. So this is our FAQ. This is our FAQ section. So this section, let's see how it looks on Figma. So we have this section. I want to see the color. I want to get the color actually. Okay, now I'm struggling. So steel gray. What's the color of steel gray? Does someone have access to it? There is, if you have access to this color, just get it from me. I could have, okay, inspect would have worked. Thanks, Lou. So let's just go back. I'm going to call this epic section in my style and CSS. I'm going to this media query. This is not where we're going to do it, and I'm definitely not doing it inside this mobile section. Yeah, thank you for that. So I'm going to do FAQ section. So inside this section now, I'm going to do a background. Then I need a minimum height of 100 VH. If you check, you see that this is quite, yeah, this is quite the same. So let's see what we have here. Okay, so we have this. Let me use this. So you see, it kind of fills the screen because that's 100 VH. Okay, so the next thing that we need to do is we need to give a padding top and padding bottom. Wow. Padding top, where we've been doing 80 pixels, 0. So I can just continue with that. Okay, done that. Now let's the effect. So let's get this frequently asked questions. So I'm copying this. I'm going to use the H2. Right. So below it, I'm going to do with great power. Thank you. So let's just confirm something. So we have this FAQ box. So FAQ box is actually supposed to be this one. This is the box containing the FAQ. So I actually need a main box to contain everything. And this will just be the FAQ as well. So these are the individual boxes. So this is the question, this is the answer here. Yeah. So what I want to do now is, so I'm actually going to remove some stuff from what's my autopilot thing. The guy is trying to steal this one out. So I'm going to do FAQ main box. This is my main box. I'm actually going to give it a width. So I'll just do section. Okay, well, thank you, autopilot. You do well. FAQ section, FAQ main box. So inside here now, I want to have a width of let's say 80%. And I want to put a border so that I know what is happening. Yeah, just pixels. And change the border. Much suggestions. Let's just confirm something. So we don't have a height, so that's why it's just that way. So let me just give it the height just for so a height of 400 pixels. We are eventually going to remove that. So this is what we have now. So this is 80 pixels, 80% rather. I'm going to reduce this, let's say it's 60. So I can work with this. So I'm going to do I want to centralize it. What do I do? Someone. Autopilot has finished it before you. Don't do justify content. Imagine of zero content. Don't use text align either. Use margin of zero button because you need space here, Then this, yeah. So you want it to be at the center. That's why you have to do a margin of zero. That's for top and bottom, left and right, and then something else. Left and right, it's automatically center. All right. So we've done that now. The next thing I want to do now is I want to do each individual box now. So for me to do that, I am coming into my this, and then I'm doing my FAQ box. Inside the FAQ box now, so wants me to use this question. So inside the FAQ box, I have a header section. So this header section is the one that has the question, and then you now have the whole arrow symbol. I'm going to do the question, and then I'm going to get the first question here. How long should the app take? And take forever. So I'm going to do a H4. I'm going to paste this. So this is our question. And then I want to now do, I'm going to call this, I call it FAQ control. Okay, so because this is this here. So you kind of want this. This is the header. So you see when you close this side does not show. What you just have is just this top section. So we want to do it that way, so that when you close this happens. You just have the header show. So when you close it, something different comes up. So this is the header section. And here now, this FAQ control. For this FAQ control, I will just use the H. There are different ways of doing this. You could actually use an icon. So let me see what this looks like. know what else to say. All right, so this is what we have. So now I'm going to use this one now. So notice that we have a different color for the box itself. So I'm going to give it a color of white. This is FAQ box. Okay, so let's use the background of white. And then I'm going to give it a padding 20 pixels. Let's start from there. So we have this is what we have. And then so I want to create this now. So remember I call this form FAQ control. So I'm going to, so this is FAQ. So FAQ box. Let me just paste this. Let me just create this. Just paste my background first. I have copied the background. All right. So here now, I want to get this FAQ box down to this and put it over here. And I am targeting the FA control, which should have a dot. All right. Wow, it's wonderful. All right, so we'll have to give it a width. From what I'm seeing here, we have a width of this and a height of this. I'm copying this. So this is for this box. I selected this. This is what it's showing up. It's actually supposed to be a minus by the Okay, so this is what we have. So what do I want to do now? I want these two things to be side by side because they should be on the same line. And this my font size is okay. So I'm going to increase my font size. I'm going to increase my font width. That is so that is for my H4 here. So I should actually just do FAQ box. I'm just going to go direct now instead of doing this whole row. Then header section. So display of flex. because I want them to be side by side. This is what is happening now. But then I still want to style the what they call it, H4. Like, let me just put that there for now. I want to change something. So FAQ box. Header section. Then I'm targeting the H4. Sorry, one minute. So it's not at all. I actually said I was. So here now. So I said I wanted to style my H4. So that's why I needed to do this. Can you guys hear me? All right. So it's actually not that way. Life is better now. It's more. All right. So I needed a. Okay. My display of flex. Thank you. All right. So I've increased this, and I have this. So I want them to be spaced out. So I'm going to do justify content space between. Well, I'm actually try that out. Basically, you just switch it. Just I'm showing you if you want to, don't like stress. You just export it like this. But oftentimes, maybe you might want to just be switching it. Because if you're using JavaScript now, basically all you click on this, this changes from minus to plus. So if you're now using JavaScript now to do it on a roll, now what you're saying is, if you're using an image here, change this image and then show this image. When you click on it shows minus, this it shows the image with the negative side. If you close it, it now shows the one with the plus side. It's the choice to what you want to try out. So here now, this is looking very big. Let's just continue like that. So here, I will want to centralize this. How do I centralize that? Do you see what I asked? This is what I was showing. How do I centralize this? Does anybody know? All right. So I'm going to use. Can you guys hear me? All right. I'm going to just do a display of flex. And then this is FAQ control. FAQ control is that box. I think I'll just, instead of having this white stuff, I'm just going to do 48 pixels. Instead of flex, justify content center, align items center. Those of us that went to primary school where they say there are 5 magic words. This is our own magic word. Yeah. Our own is 3 magic words. Display, flex, justify content center, align items center. 3 magic words. I also want to change the color to white. And I want my font weight to be very deep, so maybe 900. Okay. I also want a cursor pointer. I said it's just preference. You know, people like looking for a shorter way out. Like you can just export it and just work with it. Yeah. But I didn't want to go that route. I just wanted to build it out like this. So worked on this section. So we have the question. Then we're supposed to now talk about the answers section. So the answers section is just going to be underneath. So okay. But now I shake the devil. People that are not. So here, this lower section. So we are supposed to have a question section. So since we have a header, I'm allowed to, we have a header section. I'm going to do a body section or an answer section. So that's answers or answer section. Now this answer section, I'm going to put a paragraph inside it. Yes, thank you for that. And inside here, so we also have a padding here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a padding. So we have a padding left, right, and left, right, and bottom. So let's do this. So answer section, we're picking the answer section here. Header section. Picking those. Answer section. Wow. I created an array. So this answer section, I'm going to do a padding up of 0, left 20 pixels, right 20 pixels. Okay. So you can actually make this just that. Let's see what it looks like. I just need, let me just do it. All right. So let's see. Okay, so we don't need this panel. So I could just leave the padded top, separate them, but this panel, I don't think we need it. So I'm just going to create a padding top, rather, padding top of them is fine. That's the other issue that we're having here is if I have longer text, this text is actually going to go up to under this point. And it's actually different here because this text stops at this point. So what I would like to do is I'm going to I'm going to give my let's put this inside an answer. Answer box. So that we know that it's not only that you know it's not just a paragraph that I'm fixed into that point. And then I have reasons for doing that. I want this answer box. I want to give it a width so that it doesn't get to touch the end of that in case our text is longer. So answer section. So I will do a bit of, let's do 90%. Or let's do 80%. My whole reason for doing this is I don't want this to touch. No matter how long my text is, I don't want it to come up to this point. Because if I comment this style like this, then let me see, I go here now, then I add more stuff here. Let me say L'Oreal. So you see, it comes under this point now, which is what they didn't want here. So that's why I'm using a width here. So no matter how long, it just kind of stays within this point. Your choice still. So what I'm going to do now is for this other section, I'm just going to duplicate maybe like two more. But I'm just going to hide, I'm going to remove the answer section. Okay, this is my FAQ box. Shift Alt and then so they are going to be blue. And so this is what I have. So I'm actually going to change this. the question, the answers. Just remove answers from this one. And the answer. Let's see what it looks like. Okay. I need to give margin bottom, right? I know what and what is going on. So I need to find my FAQ box. This FAQ box. So I need a margin bottom of maybe less than 50 pixels. This is what we have now. I need to remove this, my only line. That's we don't need it. Okay. This is what we have now. Okay, so the other small things, this one, like this one, text align of center. This is a big section H2. Text align of center. All right. And then I need a margin bottom. MBA. Yeah, it will be this way. Because you use JavaScript. This is what we have for this section. Okay, let me see. I hasten this up. No, in JavaScript for that. Interactiveness belongs to JavaScript. So here now, I'm just going to do testimony section. Let me see how far I can go on that. Okay, so testimony section. Okay, so what do we have in testimony section? I'm going to still put my whole container thingy. To a container. I'm sure we understand what this container is doing for us. So I'll just copy this guy. I'll use the same H2. And we have two distances here. So I'm just going to do a div. Testimonial. Then I'll do a testimony slide. Okay, very interesting. Something just came to my mind now. I remember a certain time when so It was more like it was an internship. Then the designers and the front end. So like each designer, one designer, one front end, and they give you a web page. And actually, this, yes, so it was an internship, one designer, one designer. So they decided to multitask. How do you do this? So coming on, this funny person. So now that's in that this thing now you now have a I now had a designer because getting a designer was quite difficult. I had a designer and she was like, because if you're not able to come up with a design, you'll be evicted. Then if you don't have a designer too, at the end of the week, you also be evicted. So I was sourcing for a designer, and then I actually saw a designer, a very good one. I don't know where she is at the moment. Then the only thing she just told me that time my HTML and CSS was still coming up. I said, okay, I can try. I need to try. Let me after I'll tell you what after I'll actually let me just do this quickly so that we can just I'll just talk about it now. So this testimony section. So I say that we should pause the class and this is my person crying out loud. So here, so this is my slide. I'm supposed to thing, I'm supposed to put them side by side. So I'm just going to do an image and then I'm going to do this. So I'll have like a paragraph, or let me say a H5. So I'm supposed to have an image here. Then I'm supposed to have person, yeah, person name, person info. Inside person info, I have a H5. Alright. Guys know that if it's just so but here now, here I have a this is New York, New York, with the paragraph below. So I have this testimony person, and then I should have a testimony. The testimony section is below. This is testimony person and testimony. I'm going to do a paragraph. Put this inside here. All right, so testimony slider. Because we are just doing this with CSS, so just going to do testimony section. So immediately after this class, we'll just discuss testimony section. I'm going to do a minimum width of this. I don't need this for white. font height, padding this. All right. So still on the testimony section, and then testimony books. We have testimony books right now. Testimony slider. And so on, they enjoy the class reach. Sorry. What did I do? Testimony slider. Testimony slider. Testimony slider here has a display of flex. So I want to copy this. So each slide now has a width of, let's say, 45%, since it's going to be showing to. So this is one. So here now, let me see. So it has a box shadow, it has a background. So I'm copying this, copying the box shadow, copying the border. So here now, let's see. Let's see what we have. We have this. And I think we need some margin top for the slider. My margin top and bottom. Let's do maybe 30 pixels left and right. All right, so I kind of need padding inside this slide now. So I'm just going to do space here, padding. Let's do maybe 30 pixels. Okay. So what's if the next page is also a task? Also not a task. Not capable. So I have a display of flexes. So but you see there's space here. There's no space here. So I want both of them to like separated a bit. So here I'm just going to do justify content space between. Okay, so this is too much. So I'll do, let's say, 48 pixels instead of 45. Well, this is what we have here. What we have here. And ladies and gentlemen of the jury, this one is easy to put now. And this other one, this one you just need to do a display of flex, justify content, space end. That's you kind of split both of them. So, does anybody have any question? I think I will just stop there. I'll actually take it. Yes, merits. Not if you cannot me. Okay.
Okay, before we finish, I've been trying to make the lines and the arrows on the same line, but I can't get the both of them on the same line. I don't know if you can just quickly talk about that, or you talk about it in Slack.
Okay. Let's see. So we have this, and this. So these lines. So there is a way I'm thinking about it. So it's either you're doing display, if you do a display of flex, justify content, space between, so you have more like, let's say you just do 3 divs. You have 3 divs here. So the first div has this one. The second div has the lines, and then the third div is more like empty. So maybe you kind of give a percentage for each of them, so that this one stays in the middle, this one stays at the end, whereas this other one will just be empty here. I don't know if you get my explanation. Yeah, Mary, did you get that? On behalf of her, she did. So just try 3 divs, and then you do a display of flex, justify content space. This middle one, this one here will just have your lines, and then any other person with a question? So I think we'll meet on Slack, and then I'll complete what I was saying. Yeah, it's nice to have you guys. We don't have time. We don't have time, except you ask the I get to give us extra time. So I'll just talk about it on Slack. Okay, are you there? We're done here. All right, guys, let's just meet on Slack.